All right, crew, another portal, another mystery. We've landed on the Celestial Gateway, a place of pure, singing crystal and winds that hum like ancient lullabies. The air here smells like ozone and something sweet, like burnt sugar. Pipen, ever the engineer, is already wrestling with the portable fire's heat sinks, muttering about suboptimal atmospheric pressure. Our local contact, draped in silks that pulse with soft light, just gave me a sample of blue light dough. He warned me about its stomach fire, a curious phrase. I take the tiniest crumb, barely visible, and bring it to my nose. It smells like fresh rain on hot stone, with an underlying current of something sharp, almost metallic. I hesitate just for a moment, remembering the last portal's singing berries. This dough feels different. I press the crumb between my fingers. It's cool, almost slick. Then I touch the crumb to my tongue. A faint warmth blooms in my gut. Not unpleasant, but definitely there. It spreads slowly, like a gentle internal sunrise. My taste buds, still cursed, tell me nothing, but my body feels a new kind of hum, a low thrumming beneath my ribs. This felt wrong. What do you think, crew? Is this stomach fire a warning or a flavor waiting to be unlocked? All right, crew. This blue light dough from the merchant is truly something else. I plunge my hands into the soft, yielding mass, feeling its strange, almost living texture. It's unusually warm, not from my touch, but radiating from deep within itself. A faint internal luminescence begins to pulse, a soft, rhythmic glow that makes the dough look like a captured nebula. Pipen grumbles beside me, wrestling with the mixer's pressure valves. Insufficient torque, he mutters, his voice strained, as the gears whine, struggling against the dough's subtle energy fluctuations. My fingers now have a thin, blue sheen clinging to them, almost like a fine dust, but it feels wet and cool, a stark contrast to the dough's heat. The warmth intensifies, a gentle heat spreading up my forearms, almost like a slow-burning ember. I hesitate, peeling my hands back slightly, watching the dough pulse faster now, a quickening heartbeat. The blue light brightens, casting eerie, shifting shadows across the stainless steel counter. It's almost like it's breathing, a slow, deep inhale and exhale. I try to knead it again, but the dough resists, pushing back against my palms with a surprising firm force. A faint, sweet, metallic scent now rises from it, like ozone mixed with fresh rain. The air around us feels charged, almost heavy. Pipen glances over, his brow furrowed, a flicker of concern in his eyes. This isn't just dough anymore, it's reacting. What do you think this means for the final bake, team? All right, crew, Abe here, and today we're tackling something truly luminous. The air hums with a strange energy down here, deep in these crystalline caverns, the walls pulsing with a soft internal light. This isn't just salt, it's pure, condensed starlight, harvested from the deepest veins. I carefully scoop the crystalline cave salt into my mortar, each shard glittering like a tiny, trapped sun, making my nose tingle. Tiny blue sparks dance around the ceramic, and the mortar itself feels noticeably warmer in my hands. A jolt runs up my arm, a tingling sensation confirming this ingredient's volatile nature. I hesitate, just for a second, feeling the raw power radiating from the crushed crystals. The merchant, his gnarled finger pointing, warns, "Beware, young chef, of the inner sun." I ignore him, focusing. I slowly add the glowing salt to our dough, which immediately brightens, pulsing with an intense, almost painful light. The electric scent sharpens, now carrying a faint metallic tang, like ozone after a lightning strike. Pipen frantically tightens a heat sink on our portable fire, which is struggling to maintain a stable temperature against the dough's increasing warmth. My palms burn, not from heat, but from the sheer energy. This isn't just a recipe, it's a controlled reaction. Can you feel that, crew? All right, crew, welcome back to the deepest, dampest kitchen I've ever seen. The air here in this cavern smells like wet stone and something metallic, almost like static electricity. The locals, with their wide dock eyes and earthy robes, watch from the mushroom-lit edges of our camp, their silence a heavy blanket. This dough, infused with the cave salt, isn't just glowing, it's pulsing with a soft blue light, like a slow, living heartbeat. It feels warm and strangely elastic under my hands as I pull and fold it, shaping these bioluminescent rolls. Pipen, ever the tinkerer, insists his optimized rolling pin will give us perfect pressure distribution. He's added tiny, intricate gears, and now the polished metal vibrates intensely, a low hum against the rough stone table. I hesitate, feeling the strange resonance travel right up my arms, a deep, internal tingling. As I press down, catching my reflection in the shimmering, vibrating metal, I see it, a faint, ethereal blue glow, mirroring the dough, emanating from my stomach. It's just for a second, a chilling preview, but it's undeniably there. The dough isn't just glowing, it's sharing its light with me. What do you think, team? Is this a good sign, or are we about to become human nightlights? All right, crew, welcome back to the Edge of Flavor, and, well, whatever this is. This portable oven, salvaged from the last portal, hums with a strange, almost organic energy, smelling faintly of burnt sugar and ozone from our last experiment. I hold up the sunfire rolls, shimmering with an inner light. These beauties are ready for their final bake. I carefully place the glowing rolls into the portable oven. It immediately begins to hum louder, radiating an intense blue light, the internal temperature soaring. Pipen, now visibly panicked, battles the oven's pressure valves, shouting about critical thermal runaway as the gears spin wildly, barely containing the escalating energy. The air around us shimmers, distorting the light. The heat is so profound, it causes sweat to bead on my brow. I feel a deep internal warmth spreading through my core, a low burn that mirrors the oven's fierce glow. My fingers tingle, almost buzzing with the energy. This isn't just external heat. It feels like the rolls are baking me, too. What do you think? Is this a new kind of flavor profile, or just another cursed side effect? All right, crew, look at this beauty. I pull the oven door open, a wave of warm, sweet air washing over me, carrying the scent of baked dough and something alive. This isn't just any bread. This is a bioluminescent roll, fresh from the portal and purified with my own hands. Its golden crust shimmers, pulsing with an intense, soft blue light that dances across the faces of the local villagers, watching from the market stalls outside. My fingers tingle as I carefully lift it. The heat almost too much, but the challenge is what we live for. I break off a small piece, the crust crackling like dry leaves, and bring it to my nose. A faint, sweet ozone smell mixes with the yeast, a warning I almost ignore. Taking a cautious bite, the savory flavor hits first, rich and comforting, a perfect balance. But then, a strange, undeniable warmth spreads from my stomach, radiating outwards, like a tiny sun igniting inside me. Pipen, his face a mask of concern, leans over the oven's spectral scanner. Abe, the bioluminescence is registering. It's accelerating internally, he calls out, his voice tight. My chef's jacket begins to glow, a soft, ethereal blue light pushing through the fabric, right over my abdomen. The merchant's warnings about these portal ingredients were definitely not exaggerated. This isn't just warmth anymore. It feels like a slow, internal burn, growing brighter with every beat of my heart. Is this what true flavor feels like, or just another trick of the curse? Alright crew, watch closely. This glowing roll, born from the portal's strange light, demands a public purification. The first bite was just a test, a gentle hum. Now for the real work. I take a substantial second bite, feeling the warm, slightly chewy texture against my tongue. It has no taste, of course, but a faint sweet aroma still lingers, like burnt sugar and ozone, a ghost of its origin. Almost blinding blue light erupts from my stomach, pushing outwards with surprising force. It casts long, dancing shadows of the wide-eyed locals across the rough-hewn walls, making their faces momentarily stark. Pipen, next to me, frantically adjusts the bioscanner strapped to my waist, his fingers flying over the small screen. He mutters, "Unprecedented internal photonic emission, structural integrity of organic tissues." His voice, a low, worried hum. My vision begins to tint a faint, shimmering blue, like looking through a sapphire lens. A strange, dizzying energy radiates from my core, making my hands tremble slightly as I hold the remaining roll. The air around me feels thick, almost viscous with this raw power. I hesitate, a small tremor running through my arm, a new kind of pressure building. This is more intense than I expected. Did you catch that shift in the light, crew? All right, crew, Abe here, and things are definitely glowing. I try to scribble notes on my recipe pad, my pen scratching against the paper, but my hands shake, making the lines jagged. The internal glow from the bioluminescent roll isn't just a soft light anymore. It's an overwhelming, constant throb, a deep pulse resonating through my entire body. My vision blurs, the kitchen light seeming to dim against the brightness from within, and a high-pitched ringing fills my ears, making it impossible to focus on the fine print of my observations. I press my palm to my abdomen, feeling the skin over my stomach grow intensely hot, almost radiating a palpable heat into the air around me. Pipen shouts from behind the bioscanner, his voice strained and urgent. "Abe, your internal light levels are reaching critical saturation. We're seeing microfractures in the resonance field." He's frantically trying to vent excess energy from the glowing device, but the scanner whines louder, its own lights flickering erratically. A growing pressure intensifies inside me, as if my insides are expanding, pushing outwards with a slow, relentless force. It feels like a balloon inflating, stretching everything taut, threatening to burst. The air around me seems to shimmer, reflecting the light from within, casting strange, dancing shadows on the walls. Pipen warns about cellular overcharge and systemic destabilization, his words echoing the frantic beeps of his equipment. This isn't just a glow, it's a living pulse, a contained star, threatening to break free. What do you think happens if this light gets too bright? All right, crew, gather close for this one. Today, we're finally purifying the sky gem, a true marvel from the Whispering Peaks. The air here already smells of ozone and ancient moss, a scent the locals seem to find comforting. I hold the gem, its soft blue light pulsing gently in my palm, almost a heartbeat. My hands move with practiced ease, grinding it into a fine powder with my obsidian mortar and pestle. The fine dust shimmers, catching the faint light from the cavern entrance. As the last speck dissolves into the purification liquid, a strange warmth spreads through my chest. It's not unpleasant at first, A gentle hum, but then it intensifies. A sharp, internal glow reaching its zenith. My breath catches. A sudden, agonizing pain flares deep in my stomach, forcing a gasp. I stumble back against the rough stone wall, clutching my abdomen, the mortar clattering to the floor. The blue light pulses violently from within me, shining through my chef's coat, then recedes as quickly as it came. A distinct, faint blue mark, like a permanent tattoo, now etches my skin where the glow was strongest. The locals, watching from the shadows, recoil with a mix of fear and knowing nods. Pipen's voice crackles over the comm. "Abe, scanner confirms permanent bioluminescent scarification and a residual energy signature. This changes things. What do you think, crew?" All right, crew, we did it. We navigated the celestial gateway, faced its inner sun, and now it's time to close this chapter. Look at it, a shimmering tear in reality, slowly pulling itself shut. Pipen, already lost in his sketches, mumbles about re-engineering the entire thermal regulation system for next time. But before it vanishes completely, I need one last sample. I reach for the final ingredient, a shard of crystallized starlight. Still humming with residual portal energy, my specialized purification tongs feel heavy, almost resisting the strange pull from the closing vortex. The blue mark on my stomach, a constant warmth, pulses faintly as I lean in. This shard, it smells like a distant, frozen nebula, sharp ozone mixed with something impossibly sweet, like burnt sugar from a star. I carefully bring the shard to my purification station, placing it on the obsidian slab. A faint tremor runs through the ground. I hesitate, my fingers brushing the cool, smooth surface of the obsidian. The air around me suddenly feels incredibly dense, like I'm underwater, but without the wetness. It's a pressure, not on my skin, but deep inside my bones. My vision blurs for a split second, the edges of the lab twisting. The blue mark on my stomach flares, a sudden, intense heat spreading outward. This isn't just a taste blindness effect. This is a spatial distortion. Did anyone else feel that?